Here's Jordan Poole with the ball up top. After using the screen set by Looney, he uses some fancy handles to get closer to the rim, and I'm going to stop it right here for a quick second. Just for some context, it's a close 1-point game in the fourth quarter of a Western Conference Finals, and the Warriors really need to win this one. And if you look closely in this play, Poole dribbled the ball behind his back with two defenders lurking right there. I thought to myself, oh no, it's going to be a turnover. But before I could even gasp for air, this happened. Sheesh, guys. This dude is the real deal. And with that being said, one thing I'm curious about is how did 27 NBA players get picked before Jordan Poole? Okay guys, to start this one off, let's gauge his impact by taking a look at his performances in the 2022 NBA playoffs. For the first 3 games against both the Nuggets and the Grizzlies, Poole was super efficient, shooting above 50% from the field as a guard and even breaching the 60% mark. That's something you only see from, well, superstars. And to add more context to this, JP3 has been the only guard in NBA history to score at least 25 points while averaging 65% from the floor in the first 3 games of any playoff series. Now, a big reason why he's able to shoot at such an insane efficiency rate is because of his unique ability to break defenses down and create space. I mean, let's just take a look. Upon using the ball screen set here by Draymond, Poole got the matchup he wanted, and when the big guy didn't show up, he simply sidestepped for a bit more separation, and if you give him that much daylight, well...
Paying off, there's the sidestep 3, off the bounce!
Again, the same thing here. JP3 quickly attacked the switch, and knowing that the big guy can't keep up with him, he took advantage of his slow feet and went for the step back. Sheesh, guys. Check out the ocean of space he created with that one move. This dude has truly evolved into a solid shot creator for the Warriors, but in addition, he's also developed into quite the playmaker, whether it's on the run or during normal offensive sets. I mean, just look at this. After drawing Cousins into the lane, Poole showed his composure when he got trapped underneath the basket. Most inexperienced players would just throw up a bad shot and panic at this point, but Poole's been learning and studying the poise of Curry. And in this case, he waited for Cousins to relax a bit, trusted his teammates, and practiced patience. When the opportunity presented itself, he didn't hesitate to deliver this amazing dime to the cutting Bjelica. Now in this next play, Draymond was able to perfectly set up JP3 on the break, but when Gordon challenged him at the rim, instead of trying to play hero ball, Poole demonstrated that he's starting to learn how to effectively get his teammates involved in the action for easy buckets. As of today, Poole is currently averaging 19.3 points while shooting 50% from the field, 88% from the line, and almost 40% from 3 in these playoffs. With this kind of scoring production and efficiency, Poole is right on track to earning his first All-Star nod next season. Anyway, aside from the Golden State Warriors, no one predicted Jordan Poole would be capable of doing what he's currently doing. I mean, every major sports outlet like ESPN and other reputable basketball sites actually counted Poole out by placing him at the bottom of their respective mock drafts. I mean, there were even a couple of reporters, like Reed for Grave, who were highly skeptical of Poole and said stuff like this. Maybe the worst pick in the draft so far. It's nothing against Jordan Poole. No offense, dude. I think the guy could be a rotation NBA player someday, but if you're going to get a guy who can come in and make shots, you're picking a sophomore. You're picking a guy who's 20 years old and has some growth to do. This is a guy you likely could have gotten as an undrafted free agent, so this is such an overdraft. Like, we talk about that Cam Johnson pick at number 11 being an overdraft. This is much more of an overdraft. There's less at stake here because you're picking in the low 20s and not in the lottery, but this is an absolutely inexplicable pick by the Warriors. Sheesh. This aged poorly. But it wasn't just Reed that believed this. Other analysts like Matt Norlander and Gary Parrish also said Jordan Poole was not a top 50 prospect in this draft, and I would give it a D grade. Anyway, come draft night, no one except the Warriors saw that Poole would be picked in the first round, especially in a draft-talented class that featured Ja Morant and Zion Williamson. But it's not that much of a surprise when the Warriors picked him at 28th because we know that the Dubs have a long history of finding hidden gems, just like when they drafted Kevon Looney at 30 and Draymond Green at 35. And after going in and out of the G League, JP3 slowly carved out a spot for himself in the Dubs rotation, and now he's one of the most exciting players to watch in the NBA because he always brings himself a Poole party. Draymond Green sees the value that Poole has brought, and in his podcast, Draymond talked about how he transformed himself into a legit scoring threat by being a doppelganger of Steph Curry. What Poole is doing to defenses is absolutely insane. I mean, think about having to prepare for Steph Curry, which is a nightmare. Imagine having to prepare for him twice. That's a totally different nightmare. When I'm out there playing with Jordan Poole, the same little life hacks I use when I'm playing with Steph Curry to get him open, I have realized are the same little life hacks I can use to get Jordan open. With the way he's playing right now on the offensive end, it's easy to say that he's now on an elite level when it comes to scoring. But you might be wondering, how does he fare among the top young guns in the league when it comes to getting buckets? Well, you better buckle up, guys, because what I'm about to show you might blow your mind. Here's a list of highly touted second and third year players with their respective offensive efficiency for this season. According to basketballnews.com, none of these young up-and-coming stars have a better scoring balance in attacking the rim, drilling mid-range, and three-point shots than Jordan Poole. If you don't realize how big of a deal this is, according to these statistics, JP3 is actually a more efficient scorer overall than the likes of Anthony Edwards, Tyler Herro, LaMelo Ball, and John Morant. Sheesh, guys. That's some pretty elite company to be a part of. Anyway, Poole was drafted 28th overall, but with how he's progressed, I think it's more than safe to say that he'd be drafted a lot higher in hindsight. So, for curiosity's sake, why don't we do a quick 2019 redraft to see where Poole would actually land with knowing what we know today? Due to Zion's lingering injuries, it's a no-brainer to put Ja Morant at the top spot of the 2019 draft. But number 2 would still have to go to Zion because the man is just a beast. Starting from number 3, however, Jordan Poole has got to be in this conversation. Now, I actually placed JP3 at the 4th spot where he'd be picked by the Lakers, who eventually traded that pick to the Hawks as part of the Anthony Davis trade. From what we've seen of the Hawks, they desperately need that second star who can both score and play make at a high level alongside Trae Young. It's pretty clear that Jordan Poole would actually fit that need perfectly. Anyway, here's Steph Curry talking in detail about what makes JP3 so special as a player. It's just about picking his spots and understanding how teams are going to guard him. Teams have to respect his jumper and how lethal he is pulling up, that he can get guys to press up on him and he can blow by them. He's obviously got a quick first step and is pretty crafty with his finishes. Right hand, left hand, all different types of angles. It's tough to guard, especially if you have shooter space on either side of it. The beauty is that he has been able to balance all of it, the shooting, the driving, and then setting up guys with some crazy passes. Getting everybody involved, that's another evolution of his game. It's not just the scoring, it's picking and choosing your spots and making the defense pay. Man, guys, I still don't know how 27 other people got picked before this dude in the 2019 NBA draft. And with that being said, on a completely different note, did y'all know that some players absolutely hated each other? I'm serious, guys. Sometimes things got so bad that, well, I can't explain it here, or you can just click this next video. This is the type of stuff that doesn't usually get out of the locker room, so you definitely don't want to miss this. It's some real good stuff. So hurry and click the video, guys, and like always, I'll see you on the other side.